Peter and Cheryl Thomas, originally from Brisbane, Queensland, but don't hold that against us. We're now in Nowra. We lived for a while in Sydney and we've gradually been sliding down the coast. We've got 3 adult children and we've got 7 grandchildren, some living in Sydney and some living here in Nowra.
We've had a bit of a varied background, so we've done quite a few things over the years, including being married for several decades, and we've run some home-based small family businesses, and so I'd say we're jack of many trades, but not all by any stretch of the imagination. We first came along to Salt about 18 months ago. They had a visiting speaker and a weekend's activities, and one of our friends, or a couple of our friends, invited us to come along, so we did. We found it very enjoyable and thought there could be a future for us here, so came along the next week, and then COVID struck, so church closed down, so to speak, and we wondered how we were going to connect with these people, and we found that they ran some Zoom groups during the first wave of COVID, and we were invited to join those, which was a real thrill, pleasure to be able to get to know people in the church and wider during that period when we were all locked down at that time.
So Pete and I oversee the Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays of Salt Store, but we actually team lead on Tuesdays. So we have an amazing group of volunteers who come in, work with us and pack, sort and distribute food to our friends and neighbours who come to receive.
Certainly the people we meet is amazing, and the warmth and generosity and appreciation that's expressed is really gratifying for us. The volunteers who come and assist come from all walks of life, as do the friends and neighbours. Not everyone is connected or has a church base. At Salt here we have a Sunday gathering, but there's no requirement that people plug into that. If they just need to come along and get some help with food or clothing and bedding and that sort of thing, then they're as welcome as anybody else in the community. So to be able to give what the Lord puts into our hands and to have it so well appreciated and received, I'd say, is a big plus.
I just think it's a privilege to be part of Salt. So challenges, more how I see myself, that I'm keeping myself in check, that I'm not making judgments or, I suppose value judgments on people, but I'm just seeing people through Jesus' eyes and seeing that they're all part of the journey that we're all on. I'm just amazed at the amount of stuff that comes in and then how specific it can be for certain people, and that it just meets the need at that time.
For instance, when we started the latest lockdown just a week or so ago, we were wondering how we were going to meet the needs, to a higher level than perhaps we had been doing in the past, with the lockdown now being active again. And lo and behold, Coles Second Bite provided 22 pallet loads of frozen food for us to give away, and we took delivery of it just a week or so ago. Perfect timing, ready for us to be able to give the community and for them to be able to have meat patties and fried onions ready to go, to have a barbecue and to have a decent meal, and even a bit of a celebration for families at this time when the lockdown was quite trying on us. So it's lovely to see how the Lord can provide things like that. I think one of the outstanding aspects of the work of Salt Care is that everything is given with no judgment whatsoever. If someone comes along and they might be in a better car than I own and dress a bit snappier than I do, and they're coming and collecting a food hamper, it's nothing to do with how I view them. There's no judgment given as to whether people really need things or not. If they say they need help, we give it, no questions asked. And I think that's a beautiful characteristic of salt care that is just grown on me over the passage of time that we've been involved here, how important that is to people.